it's Olivia-Savannah here from Olivia's Catastrophe, and today I'm here to give you a reading vlog, which is where I do Chloe Ting's 2-week ab shred workout while also reading a book every single day. This was one of the secret projects I talked about in my What's in My TBR drawer, and I'm very excited to do this. I love a good reading challenge, I love working out and yoga, and I'm trying to think of ways that I can combine those two hobbies for my channel. So today it's Monday, which is the perfect day to start this project. It's about 9 AM and I didn't get much sleep yesterday, so I'm feeling really tired. So I decided I'm going to have a bit of a slow morning and just do my nails and start listening to an audiobook. I'm going to be listening to The Poet X, and I've already read this before. I did enjoy it, but I've never read one of Elizabeth Acevedo's books through audiobook, and I've heard that she narrates them herself and it's really great. So I'm looking forward to listening to it and getting my nails a different colour than what they are now. I did read 10% of Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. I just started it and it's probably not going to be finished today. That's going to take me some time because it's a very big book. I don't want to say too much because the first 10% is really it just getting started, but I'll get back to you on that. Already we are seeing some discrimination happening against the Indigenous character in the book, and it's been a bit of an emotional whirlwind already just from the get-go. I also listened to a good 2/3 of The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I'm so glad that Jade from Jaded Reader just insisted that I listen to the audiobook, because even though I love reading her novels in verse for myself, I do think there's definitely an extra layer added there with Acevedo narrating it herself. And I think what I'm going to do in future if she writes more novels in verse is read it first physically and then reread it listening to the audiobook like I'm doing for The Poet X. So that's been a very good start to my reading day. I also just did my course enrollment for university, which I needed to do and I'd been delaying for a little bit. And now it's time for the first workout of the video. So for today it's just 2 short videos, which is a 23-minute workout in total. I have no idea what to expect, how hard it's going to be. I'm a sweaty mess. I've got half the workout to go, and I've decided that Chloe Ting and we just can't be friends. So my sister and I watched Merlin while we ate noodles for lunch, and then in the writing session I managed to write 1,000 words, which puts my word count around 33,000 words for my novel, which is very exciting. I am so tired. I just watched about 3 hours of Booktube, and it was great to spread some comment love and watch a lot of Booktube, and I posted on Instagram. I'm just really tired though. But we're not going to go to sleep. It's almost 10 PM, but we still have like an hour and 15 minutes in my first book. So I'm going to iron, because that will have me on my feet and up and awake, and listen to the rest of The Poet X. Good morning. We are on day 2. So last night I did not finish any of Sabriel. I just didn't get any further, and that's because it was something to do with a spider in my room and on me, an arachnophobe. So that was just not a fun night. I did not get much sleep, which I do think is going to be a problem, because ideally I'd be getting a lot of good sleep so I'll be energetic and ready to work out, so that's a shame. However, I did do ironing last night and I finished listening to The Poet X, and wow, it was wonderful. When people say that the audiobooks are brilliant, they truly are. So what is my sleepless self going to do? We're going to take some Bookstagram photos. So the photos have been taken and I have been reading My Darling from the Lines by Rachel Long, which is a poetry collection that I haven't even hauled in yet, but I was so excited I just had to get started. This was sent to me by Book Break for review, so thank you so much Book Break for sending me this way, and it's a debut collection of poetry. I am really enjoying this. It's split into 3 parts, so halfway means I've read the first part and I'm halfway through the second part. I very much like the first part. I don't think this is a poetry collection for beginners because it's definitely got a lot of that abstract prompting the deeper thinking and analysing of the literary techniques used, so it's definitely not beginner poetry, but it's so good. The language that the poet uses and the construction of the poems, it just drives its themes home so well. I'm now on part 2, which is more focused on blackness and of family. However, I do think the first part is still my favourite so far. So I want to continue reading this, but we're coming up to 12 o'clock, which is workout time. Today is actually only 3 workouts and the third one is optional. So what I'm going to do is essentially the same workout as yesterday, which I find a bit boring. I hate when workouts are the same just because, you know, I don't like to know what's coming, so I like when it's mixed up, but again, we're getting this for free, so I can't complain. Okay, that wasn't so bad this time round. So for this one, it compromises of the 2 exercises we did yesterday and 1 new set, which was optional, but I decided to do. Doing the 2 ones from yesterday went very well and wasn't that difficult. It was more so just like going through the motions. Of course, I was sweating because it's hot here and it is still a workout, but it wasn't as like difficult to get through. And then the new one was difficult to get through and I was struggling just because it was like 20-minute focus on abs, seeing as the previous one was just focusing on abs as well. So the third one was quite difficult and challenging, but I kind of like that. It seems like there's something new and challenging every day, but that's only 2 days down. So I'm gonna shower, make lunch, and then we'll finish off that poetry collection I was enjoying. So I finished reading My Darling from the Lions and I stand by that the first part was the best part, but of course all of it was really good. I feel like it's one of those ones that I'm going to need to reread to really understand the depth and the meaning of all of the poems, but it was really good and I'm just going to take some time to organise my thoughts before I give it back to you. In the wrap up, it's day 3 and I am exhausted mentally, physically, in every which way possible. I'm so tired. Just woke up and I was just like, I am exhausted. But that can't stop me today because Chloe Ting has got 4 workouts for us to do. And I'm so tired that I don't know how I'm going to do these workouts, but I think instead of doing them back to back like I've mostly been doing, I'm just going to try and space them out as much as I can throughout the day, which is made even harder by the fact that I'm cycling for an hour to go and meet my friend and go out for lunch, which I am looking forward to doing because I haven't seen him since I've been back from Australia. I just keep saying that because I'm still meeting up with people. We're going to have a social distancing lunch, but I'm just so tired. I woke up when I started with some reading just to try and give me a happy start to my day. I read up to chapter 6 in Sabriel and this fantasy world is so abstract. Like, I've never really read magic like this, but the magic is so abstract and so weird, but everything still makes sense. Like, I should be confused, but I'm not confused because the writing style is very simple and straightforward and almost reads like I'm reading a contemporary book, but I'm not. I'm reading a fantasy. And I also started Jackie K's The Lamplighter, which is another book I haven't even hauled in on my channel, but I was so excited to get sent this one by Bookbreak UK that I just started to read it anyway. So this one is about slavery in Britain and the British slave experience, and it was written for the anniversary of slavery abolishment in the UK. I read the introduction, which is a few pages written by Jackie K, and the introduction alone was really emotional that I had to pause and stop reading because there was a lot in there. There was a lot of violence, of history that doesn't get told, of uncovering truths, and it was very upfront, but it was good. It was really, really good. It was just very, very emotional and heavy and upfront. I've also, somewhere in the first, I read up to scene 5 of the play, because this is actually a play. I forgot to mention that. I'm so tired. And yeah, it's really, really good. But we're going to change right now and do my first workout, and then I think by the time I'm all cleaned up and everything, it's going to be time for me to leave and go visit my friend. I don't really vlog in front of this friend much, so I don't think I'm going to be showing you what we do, but also getting to my long to-do list, even though I'm tired. Energy! We got this! We got this! Did not go quite as planned, but I had a really, really great time with my friend. We ate pancakes and then we watched Ocean's 8, which was just an okay film. In my mind it was going to have more action than it actually did, so that was a bit weird, but it was still a decent enough film, and I will always enjoy seeing the beauty that is Anne Hathaway and the beauty that is Rihanna on screen. Always here for that. So I did say I was going to space out my workouts, but because I spent more time with my friend than originally planned, but happily welcome, I did all 3 of those last workouts back to back. The 2 abs ones back to back were difficult just because my abs are now sore from being constantly trained day after day. I don't train one muscle group that much, so they were a bit sore and it was like a bit uncomfortable to do that workout, but it's done. And then it was the leg workout, and even though Chloe Ting's workouts are very hard, I have to say that their leg workouts, they don't have anything on Fitness Blender's leg workout, so I was actually having fun in that one, and it was quite easy and it was a nice one to end on. So now that all that workout is done, I'm going to shower, grab some dinner, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the day finishing off the play The Lamplighter, because that's what I need. It's going to be a bit heavy going, but after finishing this I plan to just read some booktube, watch some booktube and relax for the rest of the evening. I'm just not gonna, I was planning to post on Bookstagram and do some more things, but that's just gonna have to wait till another day because I'm still feeling a bit of that tiredness, but that workout I did before I left, wow, that woke me up better than any coffee could. Welcome to day 4 of this reading vlog. So I was so happy this morning because I went to bed really, really early. I fell asleep at like 9:30, and although I didn't sleep the whole night through, because when do I ever, I did get quite a bit of sleep, and I was so exhausted yesterday. I woke up this morning feeling super energized, so the first thing that I did was pick up a book, and I read all of the Black God's Drums this morning, and it's not even 10 AM. It's been a great day already. But first of all, let me talk about The Lamplighter by Jackie K, which is the book that I finished yesterday. This play was really, really emotional. I thought it was so well written. It reads more like a choreo poem, which is something that Entezaki Shanga invented, and I would say that this kind of fits into that. So while it is a play, it also feels like it's just a long poem with a lot of voices uniting to tell these very different stories, but it's almost impossible to distinguish between each person's story because they're all so similar but also different and painful in different ways. It really did a good job of looking at different aspects of slavery and some of the horrors that people experienced. I don't really have words yet, but this really blew me away and it was really amazing, and I think it's gonna be a favourite. You'll see in my wrap up. This morning I read all of the Black God's Drums, which was also a phenomenal read. What a good reading few days. I read this one for my dissertation, which is why you can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's so many tabs here. And I'm probably going to do a separate video where I talk about my dissertation books and some of the themes that I've picked up on, and we'll talk about my dissertation. So let me know if you want dissertation reads, book reviews, book discussions, book analysis kind of videos for each of my reads for my dissertation. So this one is about this girl in this steampunky kind of world, and she hears about this scientist and the black god's drums, which the scientist can make, and lots of people are very interested in the black god's drums, but Creeper wants to use this information and sell it to a captain so she can gain passage aboard the airship. However, a lot more happens, and a lot has to do with Oya, which is this god that lives within her, and it all goes down. I feel like this one did a very, very good job of being really, really short, but having a lot of world building that just happens so naturally and flows so easily. I was not really that much about the characters, but I was more about the plot in this one, and I think the plot was really, really good. Even though it was so short, it still packed a punch, and it touches on a lot of themes. And I also really liked that one of our characters is black, disabled, and bisexual, I believe. And then we've also got this secondary blind character, and I wasn't expecting so much representation in this one, so that also made me very happy. Really, really enjoyed it. That was a brilliant start to the day. So now I'm going to write my review notes for both of these books. I write review notes for everything I read. Don't always make those into reviews, but it's just so that I remember what I read. And then I'm going to make notes for this, for my dissertation. And then I'm going to do my first workout. Today we've got 3 workouts to go, but they're all 3 things that I've done before, so it's going to be a bit repetitive. I don't mind too much. I'm actually enjoying the cardio ones, and I'm going to do that this morning. Then I'm going to go meet my friend, and we're going to go on a walk and have a little picnicky kind of thing, chill the whole day, and then in the evening I'll do the 2 ab workouts back to back. That's the plan. Let's go study and then work out. Welcome to day 5 of this reading vlog. So yesterday I practically fell asleep. I was so exhausted, but it was a really good day yesterday. I woke up this morning and it was raining, and that got me a bit gloomy and down because my A Darker Shade of Magic Illumicrate box arrived, and I was like, I want to film this because I want to know what's inside. But I did manage to film. I kicked my dad out of the living room. Thanks, Dad, for going. And I filmed down here just now, and I'm just filming this quick little vlog update before I'm like, Dad, you can come back down and work in the living room with me again. I wanted to talk about yesterday. So yesterday she made us do the cardio and the abs workout, and then also the core and arms. But that combination of workouts meant that I did the up and down plank 5 times yesterday, 5 times, which was just a bit repetitive to me. And when I did it the 5th time, I was so frustrated because that exercise is not particularly hard for me, but I was so frustrated by doing that exercise again. But day 5 is a rest day, so I'm glad I get to rest. I was planning on doing some yoga because I really miss yoga. I'm used to doing yoga at least 3 times a week. I just haven't had the energy or time with this workout program, but it's raining and that always makes me feel a bit lazy and gloomy, so I don't know if I'm going to get to do yoga today. I don't know if I'll have the motivation. So I'm planning to read another 2 chapters in Sabriel today for the buddy read, and I also plan to read all of 4 if I can, which I think I should be able to. 4 is a short story collection of short stories that come from the Divergent trilogy. I read that Divergent trilogy back in my early teens, so do I remember everything? No. But do I think it will be a good nostalgia read on this rainy day? Yes. you can hear my mom and my younger sister doing their workout next door, but I'm just so happy right now because I just did a yoga flow and it felt so good. I haven't done a yoga flow in so long because I've been doing the workout program, but I'm so glad I took that 45 minutes to do that really nice yoga flow. But it was also a grasshopper pose yoga flow, and I've never tried to do the grasshopper pose before, but I managed to get it. Of course, I couldn't hold it because this is the first time I'm doing it, but the fact that I could get into it made me so very happy, and I was feeling so good with my hip flexors and leg flexibility and also my balance in my arm strength. I decided to try and do the shoulder pressing pose. I've been practicing doing that pose before but can never ever find my balance, and for the first time I was able to hold it for a few seconds. Hello, it's late in the evening and I am exhausted. I kind of just faffed around all day, to be honest. I did film, edit and subtitle a video in a single day, which is quite a lot, and I watched Booktube. I did things. I did do things, but it wasn't really the most productive day I've ever had, but that's okay. It's my rest day. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. Did I finish 250 grams of dried mango in one go, even though you're not supposed to do that? Yes, I did, because I'm a clown and I do it every single time without fail when I buy dried mango, and that is why I can't buy things too often. This is why I'm not allowed to have nice things. The biggest clownery of today is that I didn't even touch the book, even though I had like more time today than I've ever had before. So it means that tomorrow I need to read 2 books, but right before I go to bed I've got a glass of wine to drink. So I'm going to start reading 4 tonight and drink this glass of wine, and then tomorrow morning my plan is to read my body read chapters that I didn't read today and finish 4 and start another book and finish that book while getting back on the Chloe Ting training workout schedule. Woo! Whoops a daisy. Whoops. Okay. Hello, welcome to day 6. Good morning. I woke up feeling really good, and I've just been reading. I read my 2 chapters of Sabriel and we had some discussions. It's 100 pages in and I still feel like we don't have a good grip on the world, but we have a good grip on the magic system, and also nothing's really happened yet. But Mogget has been introduced, who is a very interesting character. It's kind of giving me Mia and Mr. Kinley vibes, but it's Sabriel and Mogget, and I'm interested to see how this is going to develop. I also read 2 of the 4 short stories in 4 by Veronica Roth last night and this morning, and I am really loving it. So it's imperfect, but it's just given me all of the nostalgia feels. I forgot how much I really loved the Divergent trilogy when I read it, and the fact that I'm reading this and actually my mind is like remembering the characters and what roles they played in the actual series, and then like how they're being portrayed in this one, and then I really do like 4 as well. So I'm just really loving being back in this world and with these characters. It's almost seamless, the transition, even though it must have been like years, literal years since I read the last book. But it's workout time. Today we've got 3 workouts to do, and I'm going to try and do them back to back today because I don't have any time to work out later on. We are going to be doing the leg workout, which I find pretty easy, the cardio workout, which I'm so used to by now, and then the abs workout, which I find is still the most difficult one, but it's doable. So I feel like doing all of those back to back, it's a nice combination, not repeating too many exercises. I'll manage to do that all in one go. And then I'm going for a walk with my mum and my younger sister, and I'll take you with me. What are you doing over there?
I was just trying to take a scenic photograph.
Yeah, you tried to take a scenic photograph.
Did you take one with me looking like that?
I did take one of you looking like that. Guess who's also here?
What are you doing?
Filming you for my vlog.
Very good.
Hello and welcome to day 7 of the reading vlog, which is also the last part for this vlog because I'm splitting it into two because 2 weeks is just too long. So yesterday I was part of the Draconathon live show with Jade from Jaded Reader and Soleil from Little Readers Corner, and it was so much fun. And I also did manage to finish a book yesterday. I finished reading 4 by Veronica Roth and I really did love it. I don't think it's a perfect book by any means, but I just felt all the nostalgia going back into this world and going back into 4 as a character, and especially at the end when we start to see Tris in there. I wasn't really feeling the romance. I thought the romance was like really awkward and I wasn't about it, but then 4 did something. But then 4 did something which put him and Tris on a more even playing field when it came to the romance, and I felt very happy that he did that and I really respected that move, and after then I could easily get behind the romance. So I really did enjoy reading this one and going back into the world. Then I did the thing that I always do where I start a lot of books but I'm not like getting through them. I don't know what is wrong with me. My currently reading pile might have 20 books on it or something because I've just been starting so many books this year, but I'm still 2 books behind. So typically today, if I want to be on track for this workout and reading vlog, I need to do 1 more workout, which I have to be honest, I'm finding these workouts repetitive, and I kind of wish this challenge was only 1 week long because by now I know the exercises, my body is used to them, and while of course it's still an exercise that makes you sweat, that is difficult, it's by no means as hard as it was on that first day. But hopefully I can do all of those workouts in one go at some point today. But yeah, I also need to finish 2 books, which I'm hoping it's going to be these 2. I'm not sure. So let me just run you through my currently reading. We've got Sabriel. I've read another 2 chapters. It's okay. I'm still finding it a bit slow, but the world is interesting. Then on the live show I started The Travelling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa, and I don't usually enjoy seeing an animal's perspective or a story told from an animal's perspective, but I'm actually really loving it here because Nana is the most sarcastic and sassy cat ever. First one is for Shakespeare Sunday because on Sunday I was supposed to be reading Shakespeare stuff. I've got the sonnets by William Shakespeare. I'm basically doing something then reading 2 of these, doing something then reading 2 of these because I don't like to read poetry like zoom all the way through, and that's just Shakespeare. And then we've also got The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Chbosky, which I started reading last night. I only managed to get 18 pages in before I was like, let's just go to sleep because I am not enjoying it. I don't really like the writing style. I don't really know what's going on. It's not confusing, but it's just like I don't really care about anything, and it's written in such an emotionally disconnecting way. But I think that's because that's how the main character is supposed to be. I don't know. I'll read further and see if it's still for me. But yeah, the plan for today is just to work out at some point, do a lot of reading, do some editing. Yeah. Shower, but I just have to say I'm so bored of this workout program. Today 5 times I did the push-up in and outs, up and down thing. I did tricep toe dip 3 times, and I did bicycle crunches 3 times. It's just getting a bit repetitive within the same day, let alone over a number of days. Okay, so I admit I forgot to close out this week, so I'm just gonna leave it here. I did do some reading, but I'll let myself update that in my next week vlog. Please let me know in the comment section down below, have you ever tried a Chloe Ting workout, or if you do like to do sports, what is your favorite sport or exercise activity? Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be updated every time I have a new video, but also so you don't miss out on part 2. And you know what they say, onwards and upwards. Excelsior!